technical stuff on our side, guys. We will keep trying it until we get it right. So if that's not working, let's try to do something slightly different. And let's just put up our normal screen that we usually share here. All right, guys. Okay, so we are all set to go. Let's, as usual, guys, we'll go over our news, kind of what the market's doing today. Looks like we're slightly up this morning. We've been doing pretty well when it comes to the overall SPY. Then we'll get into some of the gappers lists we have this morning, as usual. Another nice big list here we have going on today. And then we'll get into fine tuning that list, kind of going over levels, support, and resistance of what we like this morning to have on our list. We did have a great watch list yesterday. So again, a lot of stuff traded very well right at the open, and then it did tend to get a little bit choppy towards the mid morning. So it was not an easy trading day yesterday. Hopefully today's a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. Norm, give us an update on the SPY and what's going on there, and what can we expect today. Also, did we start any earnings yet, or is that still not happening at the moment?
Yeah, man. Happy earnings season. Today is the, I guess, unofficial start of earnings season. We had Jpmorgan, Wells Fargo, J&J, a few others. So it'll get started in earnest here pretty quick, and with banking, and then roll into the rest in the next few days. So not a whole lot. SPY is up 1.7%. It's essentially shaken off its losses from yesterday back up to the high end of Thursday's range, which is the highest it has traded since the beginning of March, or early March, let's call it March 11th, I think. So that's where we sit there. We'll see how the day continues. Volume pretty decent on the SPY. Not a ton of economic data. We had the import price index come out a few minutes ago. Doesn't seem to have had much of an effect on the market. The real stuff is tomorrow, with retail sales, business inventories, home builders index, such. Then on Thursday, of course, jobless claims, housing starts. So a few additional things there. These earnings, usually when we talk about these, I dig into these to some degree, or at least try to. And you'll have to excuse me this time around, especially in these first few days. Despite going through these numbers, with the craziness going on, they're a little bit hard to get an actual read on. So I'll throw out info on them, but please give me a little bit of a pass. It's such a strange time that it's hard to kind of know what's going on, but we can get into that when we get to like Jpmorgan, for instance.
Yep, you got it, man. All right, cool. So let's get to it, guys. Let's see what's gapping down this morning. Again, this list is massive. As you can see, a lot of gappers above that 2% over into that 3 or 4%. And then from here, start to get some separation. You start seeing some stuff that's up 6%, 7, 8, 9, 14. And then this one here, 119, a low flow, obviously, at a 1.5 million shares flow. So we'll look into those. Roku's up 14%. Cannot wait to get to that one. That's going to be fun to see what's going on there. But let's start with the ones that are gapping down this morning. Works is down 17% at the moment. So let's take a look at what's happening there. So we have Works in here. This one is down 16%, 687,000 shares traded. Had a huge day yesterday. Nice big pop here. Now this one is a 6 million shares flow. So it is a low flow stock. And I remember seeing a lot of trades on this yesterday from other people as well. And I can see here, which is crashing down. Now it looks like down 17%. Norm, what's the deal with this one? What caused the pop? Are you aware of anything with this ticker?
Yeah, so they announced that they had orders for 2 million testing kits. That came out, I guess, late in the day on Sunday. No, yeah, excuse me, yesterday. Kind of during the day, and excuse me, in the morning, and there was more information that came out of it. I don't see anything new on this. Just as you were saying, it's 5 point some odd million share float, just under 6 million shares. So it is a low float. It was up 434% yesterday. This is just, this is a crazy move on this deal.
All right, gotcha. All right, looks like my screen here has frozen. Give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna have to
Uh-oh.
restart. So give me 1 second here. No, I'll be right
We'll
back.
be right back.
All right, guys. So we are back. Hopefully that is you guys can see the screen now. Hey Norm, quick sound check. Can you guys hear me good? All right, excellent. All right, good. Norm, I can't hear you, so you might be on mute, or maybe it's, hold on, maybe it could be me. Hold on a second. Make sure we are, yep, not that one, but. All right, check Norm, 1, 2. No, yes, I see you guys can hear me, but I cannot hear Norm for whatever reason here. All right, so this is what we'll do. We'll go through some of the stuff now, and then we'll try to figure out why I cannot hear Norm in a second. So, just apologies for all the tech issues today. We're trying something new, and it seems not to have worked out pretty smooth this morning. So, as we were saying, guys, just look at Works. So Works this morning, as Norm mentioned, has some news on it, but then they're dropping down today, this morning, pretty significant. So it could be tradable. I do not see any shares for short. So for that sense, I might not have it on my list. It is also a 6 million shares float. So again, not a fan of that this morning. So I'm going to just throw this all the way down here. At the moment, we'll come back to it. Might be one that we probably don't put on our main list this morning. All right, let's look at ICD right now. So we look at ICD, see what's going on there. So this one, it is gapping down 11%. This was very active yesterday, and we did have it on our list. And I believe it got halted even once. Brian was watching this one very closely. But overall, guys, I mean, this one's very active. The last couple of days has been having 2 really good green days. Not sure what to expect out of it today. Could possibly have a continuation. It is down quite a bit right now. Volume is a little bit light, but again, with the 2 great days that it had, it could be a possible. It is not a low float, but it is hitting here down here between this $1 trading level, which, you know, we tend not to like stocks that are trading at this price range, but this one seems to be having some good stuff going for it. Also, if you look at the price action, it was pretty clean and active yesterday, so we'll keep an eye on this one. All right, next we have is FRO. So FRO this morning, what do we have here? Looks a little bit choppy, guys. We do have this down 5%, 279,000 shares traded at the moment. But again, not trading all that clean right now in the pre-market. So we can definitely take a look at it. This is 170 million shares flow. It is down, but look at this daily though. This daily is very, very choppy. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to put it down here, guys, because it is gapping down. And usually what's going against the market is fun to watch to see what's happening. But overall, might not be one that I keep on the list this morning. Let's take a look over at Norm is saying it's garbage. We have to read sign language from Norm today. He said, cut it. So Bud is a foreign stock. This one is down also at the moment. I was cut it as well. This one is down 3.1. So we usually don't trade this one, guys. It is a foreign stock. Doesn't have a good trading activity. Right now it's very active, down 3%, 200,000 shares traded. But again, with what we have on this list, and I'm sure when we get to Roku and these other ones at the top, this probably going to be one that we might not want to have on our list. So we'll skip on that one. BP is of foreign stocks. We know that because it always comes up in our list. Also garbage. So we'll skip on that one as well. So let's go over to what's green gapping up this morning. So we have this low flow stock here, which might be the low flow of the day, SONN. And this one today, again, is great volume, 8.1 million shares traded right now. I wish we had Norm to know what's the news, but I'm trying to read that it's also garbage as well. It's a pump and dump. Is that pump and dump? See, we're getting very good at this, guys. So it's a pump and dump type stock. Again, guys, look at the float, 1.5 million shares float. So this is a horrible type flow. You don't want to be involved in anything like that. So again, we're just going to skip on this one. Look on this day here when it gapped up, it opened up here, sold up all the way up to 54 and then right back down. I mean, I would love to, if we had time, I'll go back and look at the intraday there, but we're not going to spend time doing that this morning. All right, so let's see what else we have here. So one that I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on is Roku. So Roku is at right now sitting gapping up at 700,000. Norm agrees and approves of this one. This is 14.3 at the moment, gapping up. And again, this stuff, it looked explosive. We saw this yesterday where it had, higher highs and higher lows here, and it kind of had a nice breakout day yesterday, and today's gapping up huge, 14.3. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Roku, guys. I think this will be a fun one to watch this morning. Next on this list, we have, let's go back up here. Next, we have NCLH this morning. So we'll look at all the cruise lines right now. This one is up 9.5, 561,000 shares traded. So we'll keep this one on here, NCLH. And then let's add over here CCL, and let's add RCL as well. We'll take a look at all three of these. RCL has been the three really ones that have been, always very active this morning, almost every morning with everything going on with the market. So looking at CCL, they always tend to have the best volume. Right now they have 2.8 million shares traded, up 8% this morning. Here is RCL. This one is up 7.6, also with a good pre-market activity, some decent volume. Usually RCL is behind on the volume, but they got some really good volume, 732,000. And NCLH is really light on the volume, and it shows in the pre-market activity as well. So I really like RCL this morning. I like CCL as well. I'm going to remove NCLH for today. We'll keep these two, and then we'll fine tune these two later when we get closer to the open. Next, we have Tesla. Tesla's one that Norm has been watching closely as well. Again, traded beautifully yesterday. Look at this beautiful pop here. Today, we got a good pre-market activity out of it. It is up 7.7, 179,000 shares traded at the moment. So again, I think Tesla looks pretty good this morning. So we'll add Tesla right on here, guys. That's a good one to watch today. Why does this thing keep scrolling down? So we have to figure that part out. Here we have next will be MGM. So MGM had a nice pop a couple of days ago. We did trade this very well. Today they are starting to get going. Not that much volume as of yet. Pre-market looks like it was pretty much dead before 7:30, but starting to get going here with some decent pre-market activity. Could be better. Up 7.1, 388,000 shares traded. But this one has some good news of investors, of inside people like their CEOs, so kind of company owners and management kind of buying into the stock, which also is a good sign that they believe the stock is going to go higher. So that kind of gave it a pump. I'm not sure if there's any other additional news other than that, but again, you can see we have a nice little pop here on MGM. Let's go over down to next. We have SABR. I don't think I ever heard of this one. SABR. What is this? That's garbage. Split. Right? Yeah, garbage. Okay, so it's a split here, so we'll skip on that. Not a split. I can't read lips, but I got you, Norm. It's garbage. We'll skip it. HTC, this one here. This one is very choppy right now. Again, not anything great. Volume is 109,000. It is up 6.4 this morning. Again, not the great activity on Hertz at the moment. Hasn't been really trading all that well. We have been watching this because it has been gapping up or down. There were a couple of days where it did well, but overall, I'm not seeing anything great on Hertz this morning. So I'm going to skip on this one right now. Let's go down to SPCE, another one that has been very explosive as well. SPCEs, it has an opportunity to take off here. It's funny, the daily is very interesting because you are hitting up against this resistance area here, kind of similar to what Roku did, right? Roku had this higher lows happening on every single day, and kind of a possibility of breaking out today. Roku broke out yesterday and gapped up huge today. This has the same similar look, but the pre-market though is not looking all that exciting right now. Only 168,000 shares traded, so that doesn't look all that clean when it comes to pre-market at the moment. So we can throw it on here. I don't believe it's going to stay on this list, but we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Let's move over to Airlines. Let's start with UAL. So UAL is on here. We'll do a few more, and then we're going to throw it out to the chat to see what's going on there. There you go, takeoff. So Norman's showing a nice video there. That's quality is good, man. So space shuttle takeoff there. UAL, this pre-market, we've seen better from UAL, but let's take a look at what Delta's doing. American Airlines, let's see Delta here. Delta's got a better volume, so I like Delta right now at the moment. Let's look at what's the other ones we have on this list. We have JetBlue, JBLU. See what that is doing. Very light on the volume. Delta seems the best one right now. Let's look at American Airlines, kind of go through the list that's kind of been very active. Also, American Airlines, hold on a second. Let's get the ticker in here. Here we go. So American Airlines, this one has good volume too. So between Delta and American Airlines, those could be two good ones to watch today. We'll keep an eye on both of them at the moment. I think Delta might be the one that is trading a slightly better, but American Airlines does have more volume, has a nice little range in the pre-market as well, so it is worth watching. All right, guys, that is what we have. We have plenty on this list. There's going to be a lot on here. Obviously, the SPY continues to to trade nicely the last couple of days, trending higher here. Let's see if we can get above this area where we have the high from 2 days ago. If we can get above that, it would be nice to see what kind of trend we're going to be setting into for the day. So let's go over to you guys. Let's start with our chat room and see what you guys have this morning. What do we have here? Could look AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD, yeah, AMD is a good one to follow on the spot. I had a good day yesterday. Right now, pre-market's a little bit choppy, like most of these stocks are. I would expect to see better out of AMD, given the way the SPY is trading. So again, not a fan of it right now, but again, it's a good one to watch. If the SPY is going to trade in one direction, this could be a nice one to kind of take a pop on. Let me see 1 second, guys, because we are going to need Norm for announcements. Let me try if we can get some sound going for him. Give me 1 second. Now, can the chat room hear? Can the chat room hear you at all, Norm? What? Type that in. Oh, the chat room can't hear you neither. How come? Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'll go through it. All right, so we'll figure what's going on there after the show today, guys. We'll get back to normal. All right, so let's go over to what you guys have. So I saw AMD here. Again, AMD we'll throw on here. Not one of the best ones right now, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it. What else do we have, guys? We saw AMD, J&J, Johnson & Johnson. What's going on with these guys this morning? So Johnson & Johnson, at the moment, they're gapping up 3.6, 185,000 shares traded. I do like the daily possible breakout here. Now, they had a lot of news over the last couple of days, but again, this could be a move with the market, but I like the pop right now, 3.6, and I like the potential breakout. We already cracked above this area here, but if we can get settle above this range, it could be nice. Now, J&J tends to have a little bit wider spread, so you got to be careful with that, and it can move quite a bit. So be aware. This is a stock that, again, it's a hit or miss. There's some days that it can be trade very clean, very tight spread, and a tight spread on this one could be, it could literally be 8 cents, 10 cents. It's just the way that the stock is, right? And it could trade very well. And there's days that it could just be extremely choppy, and it could just be very difficult to get any opportunities going. So we'll see what kind of day it has today. I do like the way it's setting up right now on the daily. It has some really decent volume worth watching this morning. Let's look at Piton. Today it's a PTON. Wow, big day yesterday. We did not have this on our watch list yesterday, but today they're pretty light on volume and everything. I see the possible continuation here, guys. Obviously, Piton has been on the talks of a lot of possible sales, people staying home and kind of, they're joining their webinars, their free streaming and service and stuff like that. So beautiful pop here yesterday. Could set in for a continuation, but I'm not seeing that today here in the volume, guys. Only 30,000 shares at the moment. So again, if it hits our scanners, we can definitely take a look at it, but right now I'm not going to add it to our list, but it's a good continuation, a possible continuation there. Someone mentioned NK. We'll look at NK and Jpmorgan. All right, so here's NK, guys. This one, it is up 41%. What's the float on this? Let's take a look at that. What's the flow on NK? Let's type it in here. 28 million shares flow. So it's not a low flow, but this daily looks very interesting right now. It's again mainly trading under $5. Yeah, Norm, I'm with you, man. I don't think this is a good one to watch today. You do even the pre-market action. Look at the way the pre-market action is kind of setting up. Seems very, very. Although you have 358,000 shares, it doesn't seem very clean the way it's setting up in the pre-market. So again, I will stay away from something like this. It's not a low flow, guys, but it is trading somewhat of a low flow type style, 28 million shares flow. So I will stay away from this one at the moment. All right, we have Zoom and SQ. Let's take JPM first. Let's take a look at JPM here. So JPM at the morning, Jpmorgan. This one is again. This one has. It's good. I think these bank unions are going to be having earnings right this week, Norm. So right now there's not much going on with them. This one is pretty active right now, up 1.5, 661,000 shares traded. Now I'm not a big banking guy when it comes to some of these stocks. Bank of America is one that I have traded in the past. Jpmorgan, I don't have much luck with. But BAC, you can see here, tends to have a better pre-market activity overall. So if I'm going to watch anything in the banking sector, it probably will be Bank of America. JP Morgan right now doesn't seem to be doing anything all that great, but this right here, this is how these stocks trade in the pre-market, right? You're not going to get usually anything better than this. This is a good pre-market activity for JP Morgan. So you know what, we'll throw it on here. I won't have a bias on it. We'll throw it on here and we'll see what we can get out of it today. Let's look at one more PayPal, then we'll go over to our YouTube channel, see what we have going on there. So PayPal this morning, PayPal has a good daily, guys. I like the daily on PayPal. It did a nice pop here. It is up 2.8, and you can see here very similar to Roku and some of these other stocks that are just kind of squeezing out for a possible opportunity to break out of that. And today they're gapping up 2.8. The volume is horrible though, and the pre-market is horrible. And usually PayPal trades better than that when it is active. But this morning I'm not seeing anything all that great on PayPal. Again, just we need more activity out of it as far as it goes to having it in our open list. All right, let's look at what we have over on YouTube. So JPM had earnings, right? Correct. Thank you for that. JPM had Morgan. So that JPM had earnings. So that could be a good one to watch today. So I have it on my list. We'll have it on here. See how that trades. Right now, this is really all over the place. So we'll see what's going on. Okay, let's look at WFC this morning. Here we go. WFC. Yes. So this one again, also another banking stock. Again, I'm going to watch JP Morgan. If they had earnings, I'm going to watch them. And I'm also going to watch Bank of America. So I traded that one yesterday. That was a nice, beautiful short. Again, it's just traded so clean. So I prefer to have Bank of America on my list than JP Morgan. But yeah, so we'll definitely watch both of these and see what's coming up there. All right, what else we have? Lucas, 100%, man. This is not my world when it comes to news. I focus really on just charts and technicals. This is why Norm is so critical to this show, guy, because he knows what's going on in the back end. I mean, this guy, and not just because you're on the video, he wakes up early, he does his research, he watches a lot of news. I don't, man. I show up, I see what's going on from him, put my list together and trade. You know, so that's the way it goes. Let's look at JNUG. All right, so what do we have here? JNUG, 800,000 shares, up 4.1 this morning. I don't like the daily on this, guys. This, again, not sure what type of stock this is. It's an ETF. Oh, yes, a gold mine ETF. Yeah, I don't like the way this looks. So usually I don't trade this on my opening, on my actual main watch list. If we do, Brian is very good at picking these and trading these stocks. Again, I don't trade them. I prefer to stay with actual common stocks on my watch list. Not saying that you cannot get an opportunity out of this stock, but I won't have this one on my list. All right, so Guild, last one. I'm doing Guild because a lot of people are throwing that one out this morning. Also looks like a potential explosion here, but man, this pre-market is really all over the place right now. This is very choppy. It does have 145,000 shares traded. The daily looks like it can get going here. We do have some levels. We can move this down here. Now we got some more interesting information. We do have some space here to get going, but overall, guys, I'm just not liking the pre-market right now. But now, knowing Guild, because we watched this plenty of times before and Norm tracks this very closely, it can be explosive. But right now, just looking at the information we have at hand, this is not the best one to watch based on the way the pre-market is looking at the moment. All right, guys, let's go over to announcements. All right, here we go. So what? Let me just get these out the way here. All right, perfect. So guys, every close Monday through Friday, we're having the today's market close on Wall Street. Mike, Peter, and Brian are on every morning from 3:30 to about 4:15, and it's going to get very interesting as we get into the earnings season. It's going to be very exciting to see how these stocks play out after 4 o'clock. So join us at that time, guys. Again, there's it's a very fun show. They have a lot of information as well, and they also take good opportunities in the afternoon. So again, definitely join us there. We would love to have you there and give you feedback as well. This will be on YouTube every day, Monday through Friday, and also in the chat room if you're joining us there. We have this week, guys, tomorrow, April 15, we have Brian Shannon. He's going to talk to us about how to trade short-term with the Alpha Trend and Anchor VWAP. So again, looking forward to this. These success webinar, guys, are very, very important because we're bringing stuff up from other people that are experts in their area and that we can learn from. And that's what this community is all about, being able to learn from first each other in here as a community, from people that have more experience, that have been through through the stuff that a lot of new traders are trying to get through. And also these guys have been trading for years that have figured out their niche, and we can learn something from there. After that, we got Dr. Kenneth Reed. He's going to be talking about the danger of opportunity, navigating a volatility during a bear market. Of course, things have changed, but this is still important. This is still an important topic because who knows, what can happen in the future, and it's good to learn from this. This is my first bear market as a trader, as a day trader. It's the first one for a lot of people as well. I only been trading for about 3 years, so again, it's an experience that we can put under our belt and move forward with. We have also, this is tonight, guys, we have module 1 with Mike. He's going to be talking about defining yourself as a trader. This is at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so do not miss that. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And then next week, every 2 weeks, I believe, every other week, we're having our own Dr. Katz kind of go over the live Q&A, talk about topics that you might have in the community. So this is very important for us to join here. So this will be next week at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Every other Tuesday, we're having these webinars, so we'll love to see you guys there. As usual, and then here's a special. This is a special one that we're doing actually this week. So again, we got a lot of stuff coming this week, and this is one talking about the anxiety with COVID-19 and everything else happening, the stress of just life period. So it doesn't have to be all trading related. We can, it's a lot going on. People are working from home. You're spending more time at the house without being able to get out. This could be stressful on anyone already without being a trader. Then being a trader on top of it, you can have even more stress if things are not going well. So again, guys, this will be a great one to come to. Definitely do not miss it. This will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. right after the close. So after you're done watching the close show, you can hop over to this one and we can look at we can get with Dr. Katz and go over some of these issues that we all might be facing here. All right, guys, if you're interested in joining us, definitely try the 1 week trial. I mean, this is try to see if this community is for you. So we have a pre-market code 24 here. You can get access to our onboarding class and the internship membership. We also have 40% off our one-time membership. The lifetime membership, again, this is a very good deal, probably one of the best deals that we are running. You can use Earth Day as your code for your checkout. And you can follow us on Twitter at bearboottraders.com, Carlos at MBBT, Norm at NormBBT, and then we have Mike B at BBT as well. So definitely check us out there. We're always posting all kind of fun stuff and things about the community. All right, folks, so let's get to what we have here. Let's go over, first we have a giant list. So I'm going to go through this first and fine tune this a little bit. Let's start with FRO this morning. Again, just not liking the pre-market right now, guys. So I'm just going to remove this one from our list. Roku, I definitely love Roku, man. This is going to be a fun one today already with a great pre-market activity. 809,000 shares traded already. This is worth watching. This is CCL. CCL and RCL, they're both really good today. So it's going to be a tough one to pick from both of these. What I like about RCL is that it tends to be a little more calmer than CCL. CCL sometimes can be a little more difficult to read the price action. We've seen that before in the past. We'll do levels for both, and then we'll decide which one we're going to end up keeping there. Here's Tesla. Tesla is good. MGM on the fence right now. Space. Space has the potential to take off here, and that's just based on the daily. But if I look at just the pre-market action, it is so dull right now. I think I'm just going to take this one off. We'll remove that one. Here's Delta. So out of Delta and American Airlines, they both look really good, guys. It's another tough decision. We'll do levels for both, and then we'll decide later what we're going to keep. Here is AMD. AMD is a good one to follow with the SPY. Again, had a big day yesterday, gapping up nicely, 2.7. For AMD, 2.7 is quite a bit. That's a lot for AMD. AMD usually doesn't move much. Obviously, with the way the volatility has been lately, has moved a lot more than usual. But this is good for AMD here, so we'll keep an eye on that. J&J also has a decent pre-market activity potential. Breakout here also coming up. Looks like it might want to test the highs of the pre-market one more time. Jpmorgan with earnings earlier today. Had earnings already, so this one here, again, the pre-market still not looking all that great, but we'll do levels for this one in case it can surprise us with some good trading. Bank of America could be another one. I'll take Bank of America off. I had a great trade on that yesterday, but it doesn't look all that exciting at the moment. So, and then down here we have ICD, which I'm really not going to watch, guys. I'm going to remove it. Again, these stocks that do this type of movement, I just don't like to even have on my watch list because there could be a lot of funny business happening now. If on the second, third day day. So again, after such a big day here, I usually don't like to watch these stocks anyway, so we'll remove this one. Works is interesting as well. We'll keep it on the list here, but again, not really much of a fan. I think the big move was done yesterday. Could do a continuation today, but today seems like it's just selling down, and we don't have shares for short. So yeah, for that reason, we'll take it off. I like to have stuff that we can go both ways, long and short. All right, let's start over with Roku. This is definitely one of my favorite ones this morning. High of the pre-market already sitting at 112.79. Your low of your pre-market sitting at a 105.80. So we'll mark that down. And then below that, we do have this nice big gap up that we had today. We have a moving average here at 103.29. So I'm going to mark that down. And then between here, we do have kind of an area of minor support around 99.66. So you have 2 days kind of bouncing off that area there, so I'm going to put that on there, 99.66. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels on there. We do have a moving average as well that I marked there at 103. So let's see if we can hold. It looks like this thing wants to getting a little toppy here at 112, kind of heading back down here. See if we can hold some of these levels, some of these moving averages on the 5 minute, and head back up. Above that, we do have a clean level at 118. Below that, between here, you don't have a really clean level. It's very again, the daily is not great within this area, but you clearly see there's a level here, and there's one right down here, right? You have some support and resistance happening off that 112, which is the high of the pre-market, and this 118.83. So let's see how that goes. Right now, pre-market is looking great volume. Definitely one of my favorite ones this morning to have on the list. Here is CCL. So CCL is also good alongside RCL. High of the pre-market right now, CCL is 1260. Yeah, there we go. So we'll mark that down. Above that, you have the highs from 2 days ago right on there. Nice little pop before the rejection, coming back down to test towards the bottom. Some of these levels that we have some good support happening here. Look at the previous day close. Look at the lows from the last 2 trading days all on here. So you got plenty of support in this area. I don't think you need to add any more towards the bottom. If we were to lose all this support here, definitely will be something, because I mean the spot will be dropping. We will need a lot of help or some negative news to break through all this support here to get down towards that 926. I don't think that's happening today. Above the pre-market high, we have the high from 2 days ago, and then above that, in case we do rally, because CCL can be so explosive as well. We've seen that 1488 could be a good level on there. You got several days using this as support right on here. Some using them as resistance. More support. More support here, resistance here, and then you can see here as well how we have a moving average right in between there, but I think the levels are going to be a lot more important than this moving average at the moment on the daily. Here's RCL. So RCL sitting right at the high from yesterday, the low from 2 days ago. So again, good support of the high of the pre-market right on. There's already marked for you. Towards the bottom, you can mark the low of the pre-market sitting at 34.80. So we'll mark that down. Below that, you do have the previous day close, the low from yesterday as well. And then if we do lose that, we do have a level in here at 31.77 right on there. So you have that on there for you as well. Above the pre-market high right now, we do have a nice pop all the way up here. We did 2 days ago, but we need something in the middle. I think this one right on here around $40, around 39.63. You have some resistance. Here we go. Resistance happening here as well. More resistance there and here off that 39.45-ish area. So I'm going to mark that down. And then above that, if we break out of that next 45 level that we have tested several times, could be a good way to a good area to get into if we can get going here. Right now, pre-market looks very great. Look at this pre-market, the way this is forming. Nice little run up here, comebacks down, and now we're consolidating here. Hopefully we can break back up towards the top side here. CCO is heading down the other direction. We'll see if we can find some kind of support and hold. Here is Tesla. Now, Tesla's daily is amazing. It's a really clean daily. I mean, given all the situation we're going through here, this one, I mean, it doesn't get cleaner than this. Great day yesterday, and Norm was watching this closely right on here. And Norm, because I know there was something you liked about the pre-market. Every time it's sold off, when the market sold off, this one didn't sell off as much. It didn't react to it as some of these other stocks they were down up to here, right? This one kind of held, and we did call that out. And look at it popping now. Yeah, it is strong. I agree. Tesla is strong, guys. I mean, this stock is something else. It has given us a lot of action, even going back when when this was just incredible. I mean, look at this run up, right? Let's remember this. Not forget how great this stock was, and just how insane it was going up to 950, 975. Low of our pre-market 676 at the moment. The high of the pre-market is right above 700, 703. Yep, there we go, 703. And then above this, we do have some really choppy days. Obviously here, they're not all that clean when it comes to finding levels because the way the market has been trading. But overall, we still see a great level here at 742. If you look at 742, even with all this madness, you do have several days opening and closing around that 742 area. So you want to have that level there for sure. Also look out for whole dollar number 725, 750. Those are going to play an important part in this stock as well. But right now, loving the pre-market, loving the action. This thing looks very, very strong for today. Let's hope it stays that way. Here's MGM. So MGM, I'm going to remove, guys. I'm not seeing anything great. I thought it was going to get better here. It's just my chop around at the moment. Again, I'm just not seeing all that great based on what we're seeing with everything else. Here's Delta. Delta and American Airlines. Let's pick one. I think Delta is looking slightly better on the pre-market. You can't go wrong with either one of these. They both have great volume. They both have been trading very well. I'm going to go with Delta. They seem to have the better pre-market activity at the moment. As far as levels, we're stuck between the highs and lows from the last two trading days up here and down here. So we got some good support, some good resistance. If we can break out of this range towards the bottom, we do have a level here at 2076. And then towards the top, right on here, we have one slightly above 2691, and then one all the way up here around 28. So we got some good levels out of this range. Let's see what it does, if it's going to break out or if it's going to become choppy. But even within this range, you can see some good trading activity happening here. So hopefully we can get something nice out of that one today. I'm going to remove American Airlines, but you can go with American Airlines as well. Same situation. They're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, and you can do some really good levels out of that range as well. Here's AMD. So AMD is gapping up 2.9 this morning. I'm going to definitely watch this one today. Low of the pre-market 51.90, high of the pre-market 52.47. Let's see what we have next going towards the top here. It's funny, AMD is close to his most recent highs. Right, a lot of this stock has a long way to go, but AMD is getting up there, right? We're the recent high is sitting at 59. Yeah, we're still a couple of bucks away, but they've been slowly but surely grinding higher. It didn't take a huge dump like some of these other stocks did, where they really got a hit. Like if you look at a Delta, right? Look at this drop on here. If you look at our cruise lines, look at this drop on here. These are the stocks that are really being hurt by this situation with the coronavirus, right? Because there's nobody traveling, there's nobody, getting on cruise ships, hopefully, and there's nobody taking planes. But AMD is coming back nicely, so I like the way that looks right now. Let's look at some levels above the high of the pre-market. We do have this one right on here at 52.86. Above that, we have 3 days kind of getting some resistance around 54.62. Again, that'll be a stretch if we can get up there, but we definitely are seeing a lot of strength out of AMD the last couple of days with some really good pops and holding. Pops up here, holds the consolidation, popped up yesterday, gapping up today again. So again, it's got some really nice uptrend on AMD this morning. The last couple of days. Here's J&J. So let's see if we can break out. Struggling to get above this high of the pre-market, sitting at 146.50. So we'll mark that down. Above that, guys, let's zoom into this area here. We do have a date right over here, 148. So 148 tends to have a couple of days showing some resistance on there, and you got some support happening on that level as well. So 148.94, 149 basically could be an area we can get into. If we can break out of this 146.45, right now pre-market is not looking all that great for any normal stock, but for J&J, this is a good pre-market activity. You're usually are not going to get anything better than that on J&J. Let's look at Jpmorgan. So they had earnings this morning. Again, I'm still not a fan of this one, but we'll do levels. I'm probably not going to watch it on my end as I break down my stocks to only 6 this morning. Here's 101.69. We'll mark that, the high of the pre-market. Above that, you have the highs from the last two trading days got you covered. So we have a lot to go through if we can get going here. But if we are able to break out of that, we are going to mark down the next great level that we have here. This 110.49. You also have a nice moving average right in there as well at that level. So again, nice big pop. If we can break out of this area, it's going to take a lot to do that. That'll be nice to see. Towards the bottom, we got plenty of support. Lows from the last two trading days and the previous day close all in here. If we can break down from that, we have some moving averages. We have some good daily stuff here at around 94.72. Notice how this 94.72, although this daily is not great. Look how these candles are. This 92.72 still has some days that are bouncing off of it, closing and opening around that area. So again, this 94.72 definitely worth watching. You got 2 days on here. You're also using it as resistance as well. All right, so that is what we have, guys. Norm, anything you have on your end that you like? I know you can't talk, but I know you could text. right. Zoom. Yes. Thank you. No, let's look at Zoom. I think someone mentioned this earlier too, and I forgot to look at it. Thank you guys. Zoom. Wow, Zoom is coming back nicely. Zoom is good here. So again, held this level, had a big day yesterday. Came above this area of resistance and support that we have right on there, right at the previous day close. Look how well that's being divided, right? You come up here, you find resistance and support breaks down, come back up, you hit that support resistance area one more time, and now you're gapping up above that. So this could be interesting, guys. I definitely like Zoom as well. 143.60 high of the pre-market. Above that we do have 149.77, and then slightly above that we have 154.65. So plenty of levels towards the top. Towards the bottom you also have some good areas as well. Previous day close, highs and lows from the last two trading days, and in here we kind of got a bit of a gap in this area. I don't see any level that's significant. Maybe this one here could be something. Again, this will be a minor support resistance here at 129.98. Not the greatest. There's not a lot of days hitting that, but this could be one right in the midpoint. You also got a moving average, so that could be a minor support in that area as well for Zoom. So I like Zoom. We'll throw that on there, and I think we have a great list. Let's recap. Roku is definitely on my favorites today. Whether it's long or short, this one is going to be very active. So I like Roku this morning. CCL is looking good. RCL, they're both looking really good. I mean, you cannot go wrong with neither one. Tesla looks great, guys. Also one of my favorite ones this morning. Delta is looking okay, but compared to everything else, not as great. Here we go. AMD trying to break out and make a new high. So AMD is definitely on my list this morning. And here's J&J is looking good. Jpmorgan and Zoom. Yeah, we're gonna have a hard time kind of fine tuning this into about 6 because all of these look really good this morning. All right, folks. So that is it. 9:17 Eastern time. So we'll get ready in our room. Let's see what everybody else is watching this morning. We do have Amos has his watch list. He has Works, CCL, Zoom, SQ, and CODX. Andrew just posted his watch list. He has CCL, AMD, SPCE Space, Delta, American Airlines, Roku, and CCL. I mean, he likes CCL so much he put it on there twice. So again, it does look that good, guys. So all right, folks, take care. Have a great trading day. We will get Norm talking tomorrow for sure, and hope everyone has a safe trading day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, tonight we have our. Let me just pull it up here so you guys can see it, and don't forget we have Mike. We have Mike tonight with our with the module 1, defining yourself as a trader. This will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time in the Bear Bull Traders webinar room. So don't forget about that. And then next week we'll have Dr. Katz. So see you guys there. Also today at the close at 3:30 Eastern time, we'll see you on YouTube as well and in the chat room. Take care, guys. Just want to answer a quick question on YouTube. Someone is asking if Andrew does show his live stream. Yes, he does. When we at 9:30 in our chat room, we do trade live. So Andrew comes on, he trades live in his screen. Then you have Brian, then you have Norm. So again, try the trial, guys. Give the trial a try to kind of get into the chat room. 24 for 1 week. Within a week, you can know if this is right for you or not. So it's $24. Use the pre-market code here. Try it out and see if this is for you. Take care.